Hello, everybody. Welcome to Super Saturday. I'm so excited to see so many people jumping on and joining. And it is a very fun, special, and exciting time to be part of Zingular. So I'm so excited that you guys jumped on this morning. My name is Christy Van Dam. I'm an executive with Zingular, and I've been here almost 14 years. The company was about 6 months old when it fell into my lap. And to be honest with you, I wanted nothing to do with this, you guys. So if you have people that are like, oh, nobody wants to join as a partner, whatever, you know what, it's going to happen because what we have is so unique and special here. People just don't know. They don't know what they don't know. So we have to share the message and get that out. But I love what this opportunity has done for my life. I can't even imagine where my life would be without it. So what I want you guys to do, first of all, is drop in the comments where you're joining in from. I love technology. I love Zooms like this because we get to see everybody that's all over the world. So excited. But yeah, drop where you are joining from. And I'm so excited for today. I think I've said that 17 times already, but you guys, we usually go into events looking for motivation or looking for inspiration. And I feel like Zinkling, we are going into this event just to throw more gasoline on the fire. So I cannot wait to see a lot of you guys in a couple weeks. But what I want to do first is just thank our speakers. You guys, it takes time, it takes preparation. I know everybody's busy, and it takes an amazing culture for all of us to come together from all the teams in the company to build this entire business. So I just want to thank you guys for taking time out. Now I want to know who is excited for today. Give us some energy in the comments as we're kicking this thing off. And I get to turn it over to our MC today. He is a silver executive with the company. He does a lot of the behind the scenes work for these Super Saturdays, so I truly appreciate him. And he's one of my good friends. He's one of my mentors. I love to travel with this guy. If you haven't met him, you have got to meet him. But Stacy Loftus, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Thank you, Christy. Thanks for the great introduction. And I want to echo the same thing as Christy. We want to thank our speakers for taking the time to prepare for this and taking some time out of their Saturday. And you know what? Congratulations to you all that are on here because you are also taking time out of your day to learn and help yourself grow your business. So make sure that you get your teams on here. This is going to be recorded, so you can also send them the recording as well. But I'm not going to take up any more time because I am excited to hear from our first speaker, which is Jana Dyer. And speaking of Zingfling coming up, she is going to be talking about the importance of being at events and what you can take away from those. So, Jana, if you would, please unmute yourself, and you have got the Zoom stage.
Okay, let's rock and roll. And Christy, I think you said it best that we are going to go into this event pouring more gasoline on the fire. And so I'm Jana Dyer, Ottawa, Kansas, and I'm going to start with a story, you guys. So Zingular's not my first company. Kala and I did Arbonne back in my early 20s, and I kind of knew Kala and I kind of didn't. We were just, kind of getting to know each other. And I started this business, and like just a few months later, she says, Jana, there's this conference in California. No, it was Arizona. Do you want to come? And I was like, that happens to be over my 23rd birthday. Yeah, I want to go on a trip to Arizona. I was from Kansas, grew up on a farm, did not travel hardly at all, well, like never. And so I was not going to a conference, you guys. I was going to celebrate my 23rd birthday, have fun, adventure. Maybe I'd go to part of the conference, maybe I wouldn't. But you guys, when I got there, it literally changed my life forever. And I even get kind of teary-eyed because I had just graduated from college, and it completely just cast a vision for me that, oh my gosh, life doesn't have to be about just paying bills and going through the motions and, working for somebody else your whole entire life. And other than seeing the owner's son, who was like the most gorgeous Norwegian guy I'd ever seen, just seeing the vision of this industry, the community, the recognition. And at this conference, they introduced like this trip to Hawaii. I'm from Kansas. This was a big deal just to go to Arizona. And because of going to that conference, I literally earned 2 trips to Hawaii. I was single before I was 25. And it just, that seed was planted. And even though I got out of the industry for 15 years, that seed never died. And so when Singular came along, it was just like, duh, of course, I'm going to do this. But that event changed my life. And events change people's lives. And so I know there's a lot of people on here that are brand new, and people on here that have been to many conferences. And so I want to kind of speak to both of you. And first, I just want to talk to the brand new person that maybe they're scared of, going and being away from their family. That's normal. Even me being in Singular for 14 years and only missing like one leadership event, I still get that feeling. It's like, oh gosh, there's so many barriers and coming against me of why I shouldn't go. But you know what? Just go. The more resistance you're getting, the more you need to be there. And so here's for the brand new person, like, this truly is, there's two ways you can look at it. Come for a fun girls' weekend. It's going to be, or guys, come for the fun because it's fun. And another quick story, in Nashville back in, I think, 2013, I met two girls from Wichita, Kansas. They were so excited. They came for a girls' weekend, never intended to do the business. And guess what? Those two girls were Kara Rapp, who hit our first extreme bonus, and Lacey Frand, our first $100,000 bonus earner. I think that event changed their lives as well. But come for the fun. The keynote speaker in itself is going to be worth your time just to be inspired and walk away. I feel that when I come back from these events, I'm a better wife, better mom, just because I'm a better person, personal development. And if you're really coming to see, like, take hold of this as a business and run with it, and this is your first event, or maybe you just started this business a few months ago, perfect time. And here's why. You wouldn't I'm going to use a ranch because we live on a ranch and have cattle. And if I told my husband, hey, we're going to invest in a ranch, you guys, or Monty, and we're just going to do it. And it's going to make us a whole lot of money. Would we just do it over the phone, hearsay from somebody else? No, we would fly or drive to that ranch that was for sale. We would check if there was ponds. We would check the grass. We would check the fence. We would check the house and the barn. Is there water? We would check it all out and see this business that we're going to buy. And that's what Singular is. Think of it as $1 million business because that's truly what it is. And would you buy and invest time, money, and effort into a business you're just buying over the phone or hearsay? No. You would go and see and check it out, kick the tires around and see what it's all about. And that is my invitation to you. If you're brand new, come and see what we're all about, the people, the community, the feel for what you're going to be surrounded by, the support you're going to get, and to build skills, of course, build your skills. So that's for the brand new person. This is not your average. I told my dental hygienist friend the first time she came, and she's actually coming this weekend too. I said, okay, this is not going to be like a continuing education conference where you learn about the spirochetes and the periodontal ligament. No, this is fun. This is exciting, and nothing. And it's not like full of rah either, but you're just going to get meat and potatoes information. And what you're going to do is rub elbows with the people that are doing this, and you're going to see that we're just average, ordinary people. And that's what I think most people find at their first conference. It's like, wow, I thought I was going to walk in here at all these snooty people, and these are just average, ordinary people that really want to see me succeed. And I'm being recognized. Maybe you're going to be recognized for hitting our first rank of manager. That's a huge deal. Or silver manager. Huge deal. We want to celebrate you. We want to celebrate the brand new person. What about the people that have been here a while? Maybe this isn't their first conference. Well, you got to be there too. And you got to bring people with you. It's not about coming, on yourself by yourself. It's like, how many people can I bring along? And Beings, Oklahoma City is like 5 hours from here. You guys, I've been inviting everybody, whether they're a customer, whether they're a friend, whether I go to church with. I'm just saying, hey, there's this conference in Oklahoma City. We can drive to it. You're going to be inspired. Come for a fun girls weekend. The keynote speaker is going to be amazing. You can drive home Saturday night if you want to. So it's not too late to bring somebody with you. And I tell them to bring somebody with them. And that's plant the seed. If you don't plant the seed, that the answer is always no. This is a great time for customers to come to because there's going to be so much information on the new GLPX. Like I believe there's going to be maybe somebody that one of the scientists that helped formulate it. Wouldn't it be cool to like learn from the people that made this and are familiar with the ingredients? You're going to learn all about the GLPX and you're going to learn how to take it to market. And you need to be there. Normally, I would say to get like re-energized because we're like a cell phone. Cell phones, what happens if they don't get plugged in and recharged? They die, right? And that's what a conference does, is it recharges you, your energy, your belief, you get resold. But I think Christy is right. You're just going to come into the party and we're going to pour more gasoline on the fire because this conference is different, you guys. I really, truly believe we are on the cusp of something so big. This is a catalyst that is going to take our company to a $1 billion industry, $1 billion company. Hello, we just like the marketplace is so hungry for what we have, and we have it. So, yeah, I think that is all. And I believe this is a springboard to an explosion, and this is a historic moment in our company, and don't miss it. Thank you for having me. Back to you, Stacy.
Thank you, Jana Dyer. And I forgot to announce her rank, which is an ambassador. So thank you, Ambassador Jana Dyer, for going over the events with us, why they're important. And I always say, as individuals, we can cast a vision to a certain point, but at events, you get a much bigger vision of what you can do with Zingular and what Zingular can do for you. So thank you so much for jumping on and sharing that with us. Next up is Gold Executive Maddie Walsh, and she is going to jump in and talk to us about how to get people set up on subscriptions, because it is one of our biggest building blocks of our business. So Maddie, if you would, you can take the Zingular Zoom stage now.
All right. Well, I'm so honored to have been asked to speak today and share with you guys today. Jana, that was awesome. I loved all of the word pictures. You're just such an amazing trainer. That was awesome. But today I get to talk about subscription. And to be honest with you guys, subscription was something in my business that I didn't really focus on or realize the importance of focusing on until I was honestly a few years in, and I was sick and tired of being on this revolving wheel of, coming in, working my business really hard, and then the next month starting back at zero and feeling like I'm starting completely from scratch. Does anybody on here feel like you work really, really hard, and then the next month you go back to zero, and then you have to work really, really hard to make up the same ground that you had just worked so hard the month before to build? Subscription seriously until I was ready to take this business seriously. So if Zingular is an opportunity that you are serious about, you need to get serious about subscription, understanding our subscription, building value around our subscription. So I will never forget, it was a couple years in, I was at a training and I heard Jennifer McKinney do a training on subscription. And to be honest with you, I don't remember anything that she said other than she'll never forget the day that she woke up on the first of the month and was already at executive. Like, how can you even imagine? It is April 1st, you wake up and check your back office and you're already at the rank of executive. Like, how cool is that? So, really subscription is the gateway to building a residual income. And residual income is why we're all here, right? It's one of the main perks of what the opportunity to residual income. We've got to focus on increasing your subscription. And if you're not familiar with what residual income is, it's doing work one time and getting paid for it over and over and over again. That's what we have the opportunity to do with our subscription and with our consumable product. It's like, that's another amazing thing about what we have our hands on, is that it's a consumable product that people need to reorder every month. So really, I want to talk about 3 things that you need to focus on to get people on subscription, not only get them on subscription, but to keep them on their subscription. And that first thing is building value. How are you building value? I know that we build value, obviously, to get someone started, but the building of the value around what they purchase doesn't a package of skincare a while ago, and it showed up, but there was no value built around what I had just purchased. I had no idea. Like, I had obviously learned a little bit about it whenever I purchased it, but I didn't, know what product was doing what. So I ended up using the skincare routine for about 15 days, and then I quit using it because I wasn't, seeing any crazy results. But had somebody built some value and created some expectations of what I should expect, I would probably still be using the skincare, right? So that's my first question, is how are you building value around what they purchased after they've already ordered? So for me, my solution to this was, I am like big Gut Collective. I love the Gut Collective because those products are products that I can say with full belief and confidence, those products need to be at the top of everybody's grocery list. Those products are doing more for you than anything in your refrigerator, anything in your pantry. It's like, I truly believe without a shadow of a doubt that the Gut Collective products need to be at the top of everybody's grocery list. So something that I did for my customers and to help me leverage my time, I'm a busy mom of 2 young babies, so I'm looking for any opportunity that I can to save myself some time, is I put together a little campaign. And so basically when someone gets started with the Gut Collective, I have a campaign set up. So I'm continuing to drip value on them. The reason why I will never not use the products in the Gut Collective is because I've been educated on them. I know about them. I understand, what it's doing in my body. So I think it's really important system in place for how you're going to continue to give you just purchase, educate them on it, right? And then also building value around our subscription program. If you're not talking about subscription, you're not going to build a residual income here. So that's the first thing. I first start building value around our subscription program right when I send their link for them to order. When I send somebody the link to order, I tell them most people ask me, you are not going to want to run out. And if you're anything like me, you get really busy until probably like 2 days after I've already run out, right? And then it's the whole process. So, making sure and I let them know, this is something, there's no strings attached. Oh no. Can you guys hear me okay?
Nope, you're cutting out pretty bad.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
bad.
my Wi-Fi. Okay, let me try turning off my Wi-Fi. Is that any better?
Yeah, you're good right now.
I'm good. Okay, well, hopefully too much of that didn't get cut out. But letting people know that when they order, our subscription program is something that they're not tied to, right? There's no strings attached. You can cancel it with a click of a button. It's right there, just easy for you in your back office. You can skip months, but letting people know right away, start building value around our subscription program. Okay, the second thing we need to focus on to get people on subscription is obviously results. So, not just signing people up for product and then never talking to them again, or, making sure that you understand what their goals were, their long-term goals. and creating expectations in the very beginning that, hey, this is something that you are going to need to stick on for, however many months. If they've got a weight loss goal, talk about like realistically, how long are they going to need to be on the products to see those kind of results, right? So from the beginning, creating long-term expectations of this is something that you want to stay on. Something that I didn't say earlier is part of me building value around the product. So I'm educating people on each of those products that they ordered with the Gut Collective throughout their first 30 days. And one of those things that I'm doing is I'm breaking it down into cost per day. So I'm already trying to get in their head, like them realizing this is an investment that's really not that much. So I break everything down into cost per day. The product that I'm highlighting and educating them on, what's the cost of that per day? Because even if somebody's just getting on one product, is reordering one product every month, all of that builds up. So like I've already said, creating those long-term expectations. And then here's the other thing that I think is so important is that we're not just getting people focused on the weight loss. Like let's get them focused on the energy, the digestion, the sleep, like all of these other things we want them really focusing on and paying attention to, because weight loss is so fickle. But it's like if people could be focused on, the energy, the digestion, those things, it's like that's how we can build that long-term value and help them see why these products need to be at the top of their grocery list. And then the last thing is relationship. This is a relationship business. And at the end of the day, we are all small business owners. And I like to know, if I'm investing in something every month, it's a lot easier for me to invest in something, even if it's like benefiting me, if I know the person that I'm investing in and have a relationship with them. So just thinking about ways that you can build value around the products and the subscription, right away, results, creating that long-term expectation and relationship. How can you be building a relationship with your customers, even just outside of Zingular, letting them know that you really do care about them as a person, being just a little more involved. It's like the little things that you can do here that go a really long way. So, and then lastly, subscription should not just be something that we talk about when they first purchase. And then if they don't set it up whenever they enroll, I am mentioning subscription and reminding people to get on subscription so often throughout their first 30 days. And so at a minimum, you should be mentioning subscription like 3 times in their first 30 days. And the last thing that I do want to say, you guys, so this Project Broadcast campaign has been amazing. Amazing. We actually have it in board. So if you do not have Project Broadcast, you can still get access to the messages that I send people for their first 30 days. I will pin it at the top of Room at the Top. So you guys can actually have access to my campaign and have it set up with all those messages and more details on that. But you guys, subscription is so important. I mean, if you are serious about creating a residual income, you've got to focus on subscription. It is like the most important thing. So that's that. You guys, I will have that pinned at the top of Room at the Top. If you want the value that I pour into my customers for their first 30 days, I'm putting that there and you can get all that information there. So I'll turn it back over to you, Stacy.
All right. Thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that. Guys, I hope you all took some great notes. I have a whole page of notes. And thank you, Maddie, for putting that in Room at the Top so we can all grab your verbiage. And I was exactly like you in the beginning with subscriptions. It wasn't until, I don't know, I was probably several months in and I was at a training at Cynthia's house and she had her subscription report up and my eyes were like, boom. I cannot believe she had that much volume. I can't remember what it was, but it was a lot more volume than I'd ever seen. And I'm like, okay, I need to rethink subscriptions and start talking about it more. So thank you so much for doing this training for us on subscriptions. And next up is Madeline or Marilyn Davenberger. She is going to come on and talk to us about following up structure. So please come on, Marilyn, and talk to us about your following up structure.
Hey guys, Marilyn Dovenberger here. I am really, really excited to be here. Hope you can hear me. Can everybody hear me okay? Thanks. Power packed morning, right? It's gonna be kind of hard. My topic is gonna kind of follow up with what Maddie talked to us about already. Follow-up. We've all heard it, right? The fortune is in the follow-up. Right? Everybody's heard that. We know we need to follow up, build relationships. But a lot of time, I think we're talking about that with our prospects. Well, what about our customers? You know, why I want to shift the focus this morning. Why do we need to keep following up with him? I mean, we have that handy dandy new nutrition guide now. We have Xander back. So they probably could get along without us. But here's the deal. We've built the relationship, right? They've trusted us enough to buy the product. We said that we would help them. So it's crucial that we keep following up with them. We keep building the relationship, and we don't just move on, have them order and move on to the next customer. It's not just going to be about closing the sale. We want to build more trust, build loyalty. Maddie talked about that, right? We want them to hear, see, and know that we generally care about their well-being. I don't know about you guys, but I am so grateful for every customer that trusts me to help them with their health journey, their wealth journey, both. I want to make sure that they hear it, see it, and feel it, and they know I'm going to be there every step of the way, celebrating successes, offering support, and probably helping them through some challenges, right? Because we're not a one size package fits all, right? What worked for me may not work for Susie, may not work for Joe. So I want to make sure that I'm there to help them. And number one, that they don't stop using the products, right? It's all about, like Maddie said, building that value. And most of all, because I've already talked to them several times, I hope most of us have, right? We don't get very many customers that reach out to us and say, oh, hey, I want to buy the X bundle. We've been talking to them for weeks, months, sometimes even years, right? But those customers, they're our future partners. If they didn't enroll as a partner, they're our future partner and referrals. I get so many enrollments from people that just referrals, right? Because they've trusted me. I've coached them the way that I said I would coach them, and I get that referral. So I'm always following up with them. I want them to know that I'm invested in building our relationship even deeper, earning more of their trust, if you can say it that way. But I want them to know that our one-on-one coaching is second to none, right? We've been talking about that. That's one of our sales pitches. So most of my customers that I enroll, I don't even know, because most of them, I mean, I don't even know, meaning that they're not my next door neighbor. They're not my best friend. They're mostly people that I've met through social media, connecting with them through content, right? We want to create that content that creates those conversations, that targets that ideal customer, right? Me before I started Zingular. So I want to build their trust. I talk about that a lot, but I want to convert conversations into Messenger, because that's where everything happens. So I think with following up with our customers is even more important than our prospects, because they've trusted enough to actually buy from us. So, plus it opens up the door. You guys, sorry, I have to bring notes or I'm just going to go off like a squirrel. But we have to show them that we're invested in them and their journey, because not only did we say we'd do that, we want them to keep buying and provide value for them, but we also are hoping that eventually they're our partner, right? Melissa Corbin, I heard her say a couple weeks ago, and it was a good reminder that we rise by lifting others. Well, that's not just our partners, that's our customers as well. We know how well these products work. We want to make sure we help them work as best as they can. So my first goal always is when they have decided that they want to purchase, I want to get them on a call. And I want to get them on a call because, like I said, I don't know a lot of them personally. We might have talked. In fact, it's kind of funny because people are wanting to get on calls more. Whereas there was a little while, they just like doing everything through Messenger. But I do sometimes talk to them before. But definitely when they order, I want to get them on a call to walk them through the process of ordering, because I want them to hear the excitement in my voice. If I can get them on video, that's even better. And I want them to know that I am so appreciative that they have allowed me to be their coach and trusted me enough to spend $300, $500 or more to help them on their opportunity or on this journey. Plus, it's also another opportunity that I can talk a little bit about my story, that not only Zingular helped me with health, but it also helped me with the opportunity, something that I thought I'd never want to do, but it kind of fell in my lap. Because once you start taking these products, you feel good, you look different, you have more energy. So there's just a really good opportunity, again, once you get them on the call, to hear and feel your excitement for them. So once they order, that's when follow-up begins for me. I am going, and Maddie said it, right? She's put it all in Project Broadcast. I like Project Broadcast. I use it, but I tend to not use it immediately. The first 8 days for me is really crucial. So I kind of just keep it out of Project Broadcast, but that's a whole nother topic. Sorry. See, if I don't look at my notes, I'm going to go squirrel. So it begins the very day they place their order. Everybody does it, right? Send them a welcome message. You're going to invite them to your wellness community, your health page, whatever that might be. Tag them in the guides that fit them. Send them links to the guides, however it is. That's when it begins. And then as they await for their products, I'm going to provide tips and encouragement and value to them before they even reach their goal or get their products, to know that, again, I'm genuinely want to help them achieve their goal. Now, I don't share everything all at once. I have found that if you send everything all at once, meaning we used to have the link to the nutrition guide, but if you send meal plans and all that all at once, it overwhelms them. So I'm just going to tips, different notes of encouragement as they wait for their kit. So I don't want to overwhelm them. So once their products arrive, I'm going to get them on another call, because I'm a really paper driven person. Every time somebody enrolls, I print up the paper. I'm really old school. I have a folder for all of my people, but I pull out their paper so I can take notes and we can discuss their goals again. Because sometimes when you're enrolling and you enroll a lot of people, it's hard to keep track of everybody. So I have notes on everything. So we get back on the phone, we talk about their goals again. It's another opportunity for them to hear my voice, hopefully see my face if I can get them on video, and to deepen that trust, and so they can genuinely hear the excitement in my voice, how excited I am to be their coach. And it's another opportunity to talk about how I haven't had to pay for my products for almost 7 years. And I would love to help them do the same. So as I said, the first 8 days is crucial to me. I am going to follow up with them a minimum of 3 times. I have a system. I do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And it works for me. Sometimes it might be more, sometimes it might be less, but definitely always Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I want to be able to check on their progress, celebrate any successes they have, Or again, maybe address some concerns. Hey, I'm taking that Zing and it's making me feel sick. Well, if I'm not following up with them, I'm not going to know that, right? So I'm going to make sure that I'm following up with them. Again, day one, always welcoming them, make sure they know I'm available. I try to do it in the morning and let them know that I'm there for them. Anything comes up through the day, message or text me. Let me know. We can change it, whatever. Day 3 again, it's not just about the weight loss. I love that Maddie said that because our products do so much more. I personally enroll probably a lot of X bundles and X pluses. Love the Gut Collective, use those products every day, but for me, that seems to be my lane. So I'm asking them the same thing on that day 3. So how are you feeling? More energy? Are you sleeping better? Have you by chance stepped on the scale? And this day 3 is a great time for me where I can pose the question of celebrating them. Oh yeah, I've lost 2 pounds already. Oh, I cannot believe how great I slept last night. I haven't slept in months. I don't know about you guys, but I started this in the middle of menopause. Sorry guys, but it happens and you haven't slept for years. So if you have a night, and those are my customers, right? The older customers. And you haven't slept for years. Well, if you sleep good for 2 nights in a row, that is a celebration. And I'm going to ask them if I can celebrate them or post it in our testimony page. They've already seen the testimony page. They know it's all in there. So I'm going to ask them if I can celebrate them in there, or better yet, if they can go in and celebrate themselves. So then again, day 7, day 8, depends on my Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. I'm going to make sure I'm telling them they need to weigh and measure again, celebrate or share your results with me in our chat. And then I'm going to ask them again to get on another call, because again, I want them to hear and see how excited I am, because I can't just meet them down the street, because they might live in Virginia, they might live in South Carolina, and I'm in Colorado. So the closest thing we can do, or the best thing we could do, is get on a chat. And this is when I actually may, if it works out, I'm going to ask an upline or a sister line or someone that I know that's similar to the person that I've been talking to through this first week's journey. So we can again celebrate them, and they can also start feeling more of the community that we have with Zingular, because that's really important. They feel it in our health page. They probably feel it in our testimony page, but I want them to hear from somebody else that there's other people there rooting for them. And again, it gives another opportunity to talk about my story again, not having to pay for my products. And then my upline, Amy Potter's gotten the calls, Robin, Andra, another really good friend of mine, Shannon, they all get on calls with me, or might be somebody else. So they can hear from them as well, because then these authentic conversations, again, are just deepening the relationship. And everybody knows that, right? But sometimes we just get so dang busy that, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll follow up with them tomorrow. That's why Maddie's Project Broadcast campaign is amazing, because it's strategically built, right? For me, I love Project Broadcast and I do use it, but for this first week, I just use my phone. I just use Messenger or my computer, whichever, just because I found when I put them in Project Broadcast right away, I personally felt like I lost them. And like I said, I'm really old school and I really like paper. So I like to make those notes. So that's what works for me. So the fortune again is in the follow-up. I am going to follow up, providing value at least 2 or 3 more times a week after their first 8 days. I'm going to continue following up with them, but then I do put them in Project Broadcast at about the 6 to 60 day mark, depends on the person. I put them in there. I shouldn't say that I don't put them in there. I put them in there because I want them in there because of, like, when GLP-X came out, right? I want to make sure it's easier just to get everybody at once and you don't miss anyone. But as far as the follow-ups for coaching in the beginning, I do keep it just in my phone. But I'm constantly providing value, whether that's recipes, talking about products. And that's really what works for me. We just can't forget about the follow-up process with our customers. They're our future partners, their future referrals, their future friends. And one little tidbit I'm going to add, and then I think we're kind of on schedule, but I don't want to put us behind, is that we started last fall, I think, in our team, we started doing what we call fat burn challenges. Well, those are 8-day jump starts, but we found that when we talk about fat burn, people kind of hop on it. It sounds better, not better, because our jump start's great, but people relate to it more. So we started offering these challenges every 4 to 6 weeks. So it was a way to create a buzz with prospects that we wanted to start buying. We also reach out to our members as well, so they can buy, to get them to buy more product, participate in the fat burn. And within that fat burn, we are providing incentives and prizes. We take it to a separate group and we offer incentives and prizes to share their journey on social media. So they'll post it in our regular testimony page, in our health page, and then even on their personal page. So then they can start seeing how other people are going to react to them posting, so we can get more people in. So that's it, right? Fortune is in the follow-up. Don't forget your customers. They're your lifeline. They're your future partners and referrals. That's it.
All right. Sorry, guys. Had trouble getting my phone unmuted. Thank you so much for jumping in and talking about that. And let me tell you, I'm so glad you focused on not forgetting about our customers, because they are our future partners. We want to make sure that they're having good results, that we're building the relationship with them, that we're connecting them with like people that they have something in common with, and continue dripping on them about the business. We do really well with talking to people about the opportunity or about the products and the results. But sometimes I think we talk to people once or twice about the opportunity and we think, okay, they're not interested. Maybe it's not they're not interested. Maybe they just haven't seen quite enough to believe that they can do it, or maybe that they want to do it. So continue to always follow up with your customers and continue to always rip on them about the business. So next up is Shannon Link. And let me tell you, I heard that she has been bringing in a lot of partners. So I'm excited to hear how she is talking about the business opportunity. So Shannon, if you would, please unmute yourself. And she is a platinum director, by the way. So Shannon, if you would, please unmute yourself and take over.
Hi, sorry. Unfortunately, I still have to work. So I'm working at the post office and I'm taking a break here real quick. And I didn't realize I was coming on that soon. Okay. Thank you, first of all, for having me on. I really, really appreciate it. And I wanted to start off by saying something that I learned from Rudy Reback is to, in the middle of the night, keep a notebook by my bedside, because in the middle of the night, it's weird. You start getting these things in your head, and if you don't have it, you'll forget about it. So I started doing that, and sorry, I'm a little nervous. And so I wrote down some things and what's working for us as far as getting some new providers. First of all, are these Zooms like this. They're so important to watch and to learn from our upline. These people are successful because they have been doing the things. And can you hear me? Everybody hear me okay? Okay, great. And so they're giving us the tools to learn these things. And that's basically what I've done, is I've pretty much tried to get on every Zoom and learn the things. One thing that's working for us that we recently started is those side-by-side interviews. You know, when you have your new partners, they're nervous to do those lives. And so what we started doing is the side-by-side interviews where we talk about things that's working for them and the products that they like and what it's like being a new partner and how to be successful doing that. So that's something that we recently started doing that's working. And that way you're more comfortable too, because you got a buddy there working with you and talking about the business opportunity. Also, something that I did recently is somebody that's been with me from the very beginning. I've been doing this a little over 3 years now. Is I asked her to tag me in a post about the GLPX because she literally lost 13 pounds in just a few weeks, and she struggles a lot trying to lose weight. So the GLPX, when she got on that, she tagged me in a post. Well, then when you start tagging your having them tag you, people start asking, what are you doing? So immediately Brianne got on the horn with me and she said, you know, I want to sign up as a partner because people are asking about this. So if you ask those people to tag you in a post and talk about what it's done, it really, really helps to do that, because now she's already started and she's already off the ground and running with that. So another thing is Mary Wilson. She's another new partner. She actually made manager the day after she received her products, because I reached out to her and I seen she'd been watching my post, and I said, hey, you know, I see you've been watching me on these posts, and I said, I would love for you to join my team. Watching social media and seeing people that you may want to join you as a partner is a really good thing. And so what happened is I reached out to her, and what I didn't know is she had been praying to God that she needed a sign of something that could lead her to something. Well, when I reached out to her, she said, I've been praying about this. You reached out to me and I really would like to do this. Well, guess what? She made manager, like I said, the day after she received her products, because she got on there. She had been watching me and she had been learning the things before she even started. And so, you know, don't ever be afraid to look at your social media and reach out to people and talk about the opportunity, because you just never know when somebody is looking for that and when it might be their time to join you. Another example, if you were in Kentucky at ZingFest, I talked about going in your back office. Going in your back office is like finding gold nuggets. I found Haley Haywood, and she has hit the ground running, and she just hit gold manager. Super proud of her. And you know, again, I dug in my back office. Nobody had ever reached out to her. Nobody had even talked to her about the products that she received. But I noticed that she was buying kit every month. And I thought, has anybody ever reached out to you? And she said, no. And I said, this is a good opportunity for you. I said, you're obviously loving the products, and this is a great thing that you could start. Well, guess what? Her and her husband started. He lost 50 pounds in a few months. The products speak for themselves. We just need to plant the seed to these people and give them the opportunity to let them know what they can have. Like Mark Walker says, show them what you have and what they don't have. And so, you know, that's what a lot of this is about, is showing these people the opportunity and giving them the chance to have something that, I mean, I literally never ever thought I would be in network marketing ever. I never thought I could even sell anything, you know, but the products speak for themselves. And when you show them what you have and what Zingular has given to you, run with it. That's all I can say. When you buy that $49.95 link, run with that, because this opportunity doesn't come every day. And I didn't realize how much I needed this until I started it. And then it was like, this opened up Pandora's box for me. I mean, the sky's the limit. You can run with this and do great things with it. Also, followers. You know, if I didn't work at the post office, I would be at home every day going through those people that are following me from A to Z. They're following you for a reason. Reach out to those people and just say, hey, you know, you're following me and I want to know, is it that you're looking for the weight loss, the wellness, or the extra income? Because I can help you with all three. definitely reach out to those people that are liking your post too. You know, they're liking it and they're basically letting you know that they want this. I mean, they're liking it for a reason, right? So, and also recently I want to talk about the sip and sees, how important those are. We had a sip and I didn't, my two of my people on my team, Misty and Haley, had a sip and see in Spokane, Washington. Out of those 12 people, 3 partners signed up that day. So if you can, it doesn't cost much to rent a little place in a restaurant, or sometimes it doesn't cost at all. Spring's coming, summer's coming, get in a park, put some banners up that say, lose 15 pounds in 8 days. You know, those are just other things that we are doing that we are winning. And, you know, by doing that, these two have started their teams for sure. Talk about that passport and travel, you know, going to Jamaica and seeing everybody in Jamaica. We had such a great time, and show how much fun it is with this community. I mean, it's amazing. And that's the only thing that I can say is plant that seed, give people the opportunity that they don't know about. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid. Like Christy, my upline always says, they don't pay your bills. And so definitely, you know, plant that seed with them and talk about the travel, the passport program, and do the things, and you definitely will be successful. And I thank you for having me on today.
Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. And let me tell you, one of the things I love that you said is invite people. Invite people to take a look at what we're doing. Because if we don't do that simple invitation of saying, hey, would you look at this? You'd be good at this. I think this would be a great way if you get your products paid for. If you never invite them, they never come along with you. So I'm so glad you touched on that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a 10-minute break. Make sure that you are back in 10 minutes because we got Josh Gagnon on here, and he is going to be talking about the pre-order and also the hard launch of GLPX. So we kind of strategized that. So you made sure you came back in 10 minutes because I know that no one wants to miss what he has to say. So it is 11:52 right now. So at 12:02, let's jump back on here. See you guys in a little bit. 12:02 Eastern time. So welcome back. While everyone's getting settled back in, put in the comments some of your takeaways from the training already this morning, because we have had some great training from some great speakers this evening or this morning. So do that in the comments while everybody's getting settled in. And I am so excited that our COO is going to be joining us, Josh Gagnon. Go ahead and unmute yourself. And let me tell you, I'm excited to hear what he has to say about the pre-orders coming up and about GLPX. Oh, there was my timer went off. So maybe I came on just a little bit early, guys. Let me turn that back off. Okay. So Josh, we are excited to have you. Thank you for joining us on a Saturday morning. We appreciate you taking time away from your family to be here with us. And we're all on the edge of our seats to hear what you have to share with us. Not to put you on the hot seat or anything, but it's all yours, my friend.
Well, thanks, Stacy. I appreciate being here. And guys, let me just start out by saying, I just want to reiterate what Christy said at the very beginning. This is incredible. I mean, it's a Saturday morning and you have this many people attending a training to learn and to grow. And like Christy said, these are leaders and people from all sorts of different organizations. This is not just one organization. And that's what makes Zingular unique. I love that you guys do this, that you're willing to give up time to help train each other. I mean, that's some of the community that we built. So I appreciate you guys doing this. This has been an incredible training. And before I get into my remarks, guys, I just want to say, whoa, like I am crazy excited for about what's to come. It has been an incredible ride over the last little while here. You guys have been incredible. You've blown out all expectations. I mean, we're sitting here, Ben and myself, Ben kind of oversees the supply chain and some of the operations. We're just breathing in a brown bag right now. Like, we're just like, we cannot believe what you guys are doing, how incredible you guys have been. So this is an exciting time to be part of Zingular. But before I get into my remarks, and I know that you're kind of all waiting on this pre-launch and launch period stuff, but before I get into my remarks, I just want to kind of rehash some of the incredible stuff that I thought we heard in the first hour of this training. Because there were some key topics here, guys. I hope that you guys picked up and took a lot of notes from these leaders. I mean, first and foremost, I just want to say, I want to reiterate what Jana was talking about. Events, 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 especially for the new people. If you've never been to an event with us, they're an incredible opportunity to grow your business. They always say that you want to go from event to event, and they're just incredible opportunities. You're gonna get a lot of training, specific training on how to build your business, how to grow your business. You're gonna hear incredible stories of how people have grown their business over time, but they're also incredible community building opportunities. And if you've never been to one of our events and don't know what I'm talking about, you have to come. You will walk away feeling like you've met some of your best friends for life. Like, honestly, I love going to events because I love being able to see everyone, putting my arms around them. It is a very reinvigorating to see everyone. And we have a lot of fun too. We have a lot of good time. So make sure you come to events. And I do want to put in a plug in. There are going to be some awesome training speakers, but there's also going to be some key breakouts. And Jana mentioned one of them about GLP-X. We're going to have a breakout about GLP-X where you're going to get some training from the specific doctors and ingredient people that behind the GLP-X product, the Iriomin that's in our product. So you won't want to miss that. It's going to be an incredible training. There's also some other fun trainings that you're not going to want to miss because there's some fun things that are coming that are going to help you build your business. So you'll want to be in some of those trainings to see what's coming. So then moving on to Maddie's, I cannot agree more with what Maddie said about subscriptions. She gave you the 3 key things that she talks about for subscriptions. And honestly, subscriptions can be the building block of your business, right? It gives you that base level. It gives you that base level that every month you know that you can have that volume and that you're going to help those people. So you've got to have those subscriptions. And I think through this GLP-X launch, we may have shown how much we at corporate values those subscriptions too, right? If you know that we are making sure that we still fulfill the GLP-X for those people that are on subscriptions in March. And so we value subscriptions too, because we know those are a tremendous help to your business. And so we want to incentivize people to be on the subscriptions. And then Marilyn, relationships. It's all about the follow-up. I love how she talked about customers and not forgetting about those customers because they lead to referrals, right? You can get referrals out of your customers. Even if they don't want to do the business, you can ask them for referrals and help empower change in people's lives, even if they're not the ones that want to do it themselves. But also those customers can be upgraded to partners and have an incredible experience. And so please make sure that you don't just have someone order and then you forget about them. Relationships are key. And then lastly, Shannon. How awesome, Shannon, guys. Like, it's so satisfying to see so many people that may be nervous and whatnot, and Shannon just gets out here and crushes it. And one thing that I love that Shannon said is talk about the business opportunity. You never know when you're going to be the answer to someone's prayer. Like, you have no idea what people are going through, what's happening in their lives. And Shannon was brave enough to talk to that person and was an answer to their prayer. And ultimately, that's what we want to do, guys. We want to help empower change in as many people's lives as we possibly can through our amazing products, through our amazing business opportunity, and our amazing passport program to help people live a life of adventure that they never thought they would be able to have. I remember in Jamaica, Shannon mentioned Jamaica. I was talking to Mike and Tina, not Mike and Tina, Mike and Faye Prasic. And I remember we're going around the table and I said, hey guys, what's your guys' bucket list trip, right? And I just remember Faye looking at me and she said, honestly, I've never dreamed this big. Like, I don't have a bucket list because I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd be sitting in Jamaica. And those are meaningful experiences, guys, because we're empowering change. We're providing an opportunity that people never thought they would have. And so I love Shannon's like, talk about the opportunity, talk about what we have to help them empower change in their lives for something that maybe they never saw coming in their life. All right, now with all that, let's get into why I was asked to be here. So Stacy and Christy asked me to come on and share some thoughts about the pre-launch and maybe what the pre-launch plan was going to be, and then also the physical launch of GLPX. So let me just start this by saying there's going to be a XDC live or a Facebook Live on the XDC channel of Facebook on Monday. You're not going to want to miss that, hint, hint. So I can't say more than that as far as dates and stuff, but just know we've always been saying that there's going to be a pre-launch period, right? So GLPX, you guys did an incredible job of selling out 6 months, what we thought was going to be 6 months worth of inventory in 2 weeks, right? I mean, it went crazy. And so when that went out, we said, hey, listen, middle of March, there's going to be a pre-launch period. So on Monday, make sure you're tuning in to the XDC on Facebook. And it's going to be in the morning. I asked Russ Cowley what time that would be. He's like, it'll be before lunch. And so it'll be in the morning. Make sure you're tuned in because they're going to give you the actual date, but it will be soon. So make sure you're there on Monday for the XDC announcement. Now, what I can tell you is a couple things about the pre-launch period. Is that during the pre-launch period, there's going to be 6 different products that are going to be available. So different SKUs that you can order. You're going to have a SKU for each of the X bundles plus GLPX. So you'll have an X bundle, X plus, X advanced plus the GLPX, right? So each of those will have a GLPX, and that will be one SKU that you could pre-order. You'll have the Gut Collective with the GLPX. You'll also have that Power Duo, which is the trim sticks and then a GLPX. And then lastly, you can have the GLPX by itself, right? So you can just order the GLPX by itself if you want to do that. Now, the GLPX will not ship. What we want to make sure we're clear about. Now, we're hoping we can speed this up, but we want to make sure we're communicating that GLPX is anticipated to ship the early to mid-May. Again, we're trying to speed that up, and there may be some good things there, but as of right now, we want to make sure we're communicating early to mid-May is when the GLPX will ship out. If anything else is on the order, so say you ordered a Gut Collective plus the GLPX at the time of the pre-order, we will ship the Gut Collective immediately. So we're not going to hold on to that and ship it in early to mid-May. We're going to ship that immediately. So anything that's partnered with the GLPX will ship immediately. And then you say, well, what happens then when you ship the GLPX later? Are you going to recharge them for shipping? No, Zingular's just going to eat that cost. So we'll ship the GLPX when it comes back into stock. And that we'll have that on us as a cost. So just know that. The other thing, you're going to probably want to know that at the time of order, at the time of pre-order, we will be charging their credit cards at the time of pre-order. So so just make sure your customers are aware of that, and then the products will ship later. Or if they have a combination, we'll ship immediately what we can, and then the GLPX will ship later. So we will charge that. Any volume associated with that will be like normal. So the volume will count towards your volume in the period in which the product is ordered. So for instance, if they start ordering during the pre-order time, the volume will show up in your back office in that time. So we're not going to wait until May to give you the volume or pay the commission. So the volume will show up and we'll pay the commissions as normal under that. Now, just a couple things. If this was me, we can't guarantee when we're going to get the GLPX back in. Well, we know it's going to be early to mid-May. We do know that. And we're trying to bring it forward. But we also know that likely, because guys, you guys crushed this, like I said. And so we have a lot of GLPX on order, like a lot of GLPX on order. And the likely scenario is that we're going to be receiving these orders not in just one big batch. We're going to be receiving tranches of these orders between now and that mid-May timeframe. And so just know that when we receive those things, we will begin to fulfill these pre-orders on a first in, first out basis. And so if people order earlier during the pre-order period, those will be the individuals as we get new tranches of inventory that we will be fulfilling the newest order or the first orders first. And so there would be some incentive to potentially getting your orders in earlier during the pre-order period. Now, again, the realities are, guys, we're going to have plenty of inventory when it all comes in. And so don't break the bank here, right? Get a couple bottles or whatever, but don't make a run on the bank here, because we'll have plenty of it. It'll be in stock and they can reorder it. And so, but we will say that as those tranches come in, we will be fulfilling those kind of on a first in, first out basis. Does that make sense? So, just making sure I'm going through some of the stuff here. Again, make sure you're clear with your customers that this is a pre-order period. We do not want, one thing that we learned back in 2020 during the pandemic is we want to be as clear as possible so that there's not any missing expectations. We don't want to lie to our customers. We want to make sure, but again, guys, this is an incredible opportunity. Right now, I think most people earlier have talked about how we're on the precipice of this fire that's going to explode on us. I mean, we showed the demand that exists out there for a GLP-like product out in the marketplace as a supplement, a natural alternative to some of these other medically assisted weight loss options that may be out there right now. And so just know that right now is an incredible time to be part of Zingular and part of this thing. And so again, I'm saying tune in Monday for the actual date of the pre-launch. But once that pre-launch hits, it's going to be off and rolling. It's going to be an exciting time. Ben's done an incredible job working with our manufacturers. Hopefully we're speeding some things up here, but again, it's going to be awesome. Now, the actual launch, the physical launch, and Stacy, I'll be quick here. The physical launch, we're not guaranteeing a time frame on a physical launch right now, because the realities are we have to make sure we have enough product in our warehouses that we're confident that when we turn it on physically, that it's not going to stock out again. So we have to make sure. So I would anticipate the actual relaunch of like where everything's live again and we go out of the pre-order phase will be sometime in that mid-May timeframe, because that's when we'll have enough product in the warehouse to feel that confident that when we go live again, that we won't stock out. And so there's no exact dates yet for the physical launch of that, but the pre-launch period will go until we open that back up, anticipating mid-May right now. So with that, guys, again, gear up, because things are about to get real exciting again. I mean, February was incredible. March, when we get this pre-launch going, it's going to be incredible. You guys saw huge increases in your volumes. It's exciting because not only are we changing people's lives, but we're helping them fill the community that is Zingular. So make sure that you always help empower change in the people's lives that you come in contact with. And this GLPX product is one way that we can help even more people. So with that, Stacy, I'll go back to you, and stay tuned on Monday.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Before you head off, I have one question.
Okay.
I saw it in there, and it's about subscriptions. If someone does a pre-order, if they set up a subscription, will that show available in the subscription that they can put that in their cart? And if so, I'm going to assume that probably would not ship the following month since it's not in stock. Is that correct?
Yeah, Stacy, I'm actually really glad you brought that up, because that was on one of my punch lists I wanted to talk about. So during the pre-order period, you will not be able to add it onto your subscription template yet. Again, we are respecting if you had it on a subscription template before we stocked out in February. So we're honoring all of those in March, and you can keep them on your subscription template. And we're doing our best to get inventory here so that we can also honor those in April, right? So we're wanting to honor those in April, but new pre-orders, you will not be able to put it on your subscription template during the pre-order time period for April.
All right. Thank you, Josh, for clearing that up. And let me say this. I hope you guys at corporate are ready, because I know what happened in February. Everybody here knows what happened last month. And we now have a bigger excitement now than what we did last month, because we have these testimonies coming in.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We've got people that, were maybe a little hesitant about getting it. Now they're going to get it. Plus, you're probably going to have people wanting to order, a couple bottles just to make sure that they're held over through February or through May. So I hope you guys are ready, because I know we're ready to make this launch a much bigger one than last month. So thank you, Josh, for coming on. Next up, Jana Bullard is going to come on, Ambassador Jana Bullard. And we've got a lot of people that we have signed up over the last month, a lot of new customers. What she's going to talk about is moving these customers to being partners with us. So Jana Bullard, if you would come on and take the Zingular Zoom stage for us.
Well, good morning, everyone. Wasn't that a lot of exciting news after a wonderful morning already? And I tried to pop in there and answer as many questions since I've had the opportunity to be on some Zooms. And I echo so many things that people have said already this morning. Maddie, Marilyn talked about your customer base and taking really good care of your customer. And so we just had an influx of customers. But y'all, we always have customers. We always have an influx of customers. We're missing the opportunity to have an influx of partners. I believe this is the time that you will regret your life if you're not a partner. I believe this is the time that you are going to regret your retirement, your kids' college, all the things if you're not a partner. So to what Shannon said, one of the biggest reasons that people are not partners is we're not asking them. Okay, so let's talk about, first of all, like from the very beginning, when you are looking to enroll them, maybe they've raised their hand, maybe you've reached out, whatever it is, when you're looking to get them started, do you start with from the very beginning, no matter what? And we all have to admit, you have biases. You think they have money, or they're taller than you, or they don't need this, or they would look down on network marketing. You do all these things. Trust me, I was an anti-network marketing girl. It was like getting a cat in a bat. Was not easy. And I'm only here because God called me to it. It wasn't because anybody told me anything right. So so you think all these things, so you don't say it. Y'all, I was desperate for money when I started 9 years ago. I bought a base kit that I didn't want to open. I had no desire to be a partner, but I got engaged in the community, and then Jana's behaviors started to shine. Okay. So you've got to ask everybody, take those blinders off. And especially right now, if you're not using what we used to call the one last question, and you are religiously, which means fully committed to 100%, I am asking everyone, no matter, I don't care if it's a 68-year-old man that's retired, that goes to the coffee shop at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he's going to get the opportunity to know that I'm going to suggest that you grab a link, because people want these products, and we are experiencing an explosion with a topic that I have seen nothing like it in my whole life. Y'all, not 9 years, not my 9 years, not since I became a partner, 3 months later, my whole 55 years, I've never seen something that is as big of a hot of a topic as this GLP-X is. If you cannot roll off your tongue something to say, you need to get your link because your friends are going to want this, y'all, you got to get better. You got to get better at it because it's crucial. Okay. So from the very beginning, now, are they all going to say, yes, let me grab that? No, they're not. But it's about planting the seeds. And if you never plant the seed, okay, then they'll never, ever know. You've got to give them an opportunity. You've got to help them see it. And then as you're going on and you've heard all this great information about staying plugged in with your customer, and y'all, that really does matter. And I do use Project Broadcast. I do put people in it immediately because I want to be sure that I don't miss a boat. I want to be that I don't miss a day. I want to be sure that I know exactly what day they started on. I want to be sure that I know exactly when day 3, day 4 is. I want to know exactly when day 8 is. Previous to that, I used a calendar and alarms on my phone. It doesn't really matter how you're doing it, y'all. What matters is that you're actually doing it. Okay. And so then as I'm getting a message back that says, I'm loving this, I'm feeling this way, I don't text that in Project Broadcast. I say, I'm going to go voice you, or I'm going to call you. So it's always about moving the relationship, but Project Broadcast helps me with my time management and things like that. But when I first started and I was working 60, 70 hours a week, I was just like Shannon Link. I was at work listening to something, like I see her right there still on her job doing, and she double ranked last month and worked her fanny off with a job. You just got to be sure that you know what you're going to do with your time. So you're following up with these people, because remember, the reason they told you no to grabbing their link up front, most people are just guarding their own heart, y'all. That's all they're doing. They don't think they'll be good at it. They don't think anybody would buy from them. They're afraid of what somebody's going to think about them. I was the same person, y'all. I was exactly the same. So don't get your feelers hurt, but you stay with them and you keep loving them and you keep showing up and you keep adding them value. But every time you see something good in them, you say it. If they're loving something, you tell them that they should share that. If they had a question, you say, that's a great question. You're really paying attention to what you're wanting to achieve here. you're edifying them because you're building a relationship with them. They just don't want to do it because they doubt. That's also why most people fail with their weight loss journey, is because they start to doubt. And so I love to keep pointing people back to tools, if you will. I do not want any of my customers to think I'm an expert. I've got a new partner on today, Carla, that's watching. Carla, I'm not an expert. How many times have I dropped in a group chat and said, hey, let's talk about this because I want you to have more than one lens? When have I tagged you or shared something with you and not told you directly, right? And so I want people to see. And so the other day I had a customer, she's doing great, but she didn't think she was doing great. I could have very easily given her some ideas, very easily, y'all. But what I did was I dropped her in what I call an ATM chat. And I told her, I said, these are 3 really good friends of mine. They've had great success on the product, but they've also helped a lot of other people. I never use the word coach ever. I never, ever used the word coach. I said, but these friends, they've had some great success. I would love for them to give you some thoughts. And y'all, she loved it. She absolutely loved it. She got great advice. I didn't have to provide it. I didn't act like I knew everything. She met 3 valuable people in my community. She posted on her social media that day that nowhere in her life has she ever been exposed to people that will treat her like that and lift her up. Y'all, that's where the partners come from. The partners come from bringing them in to you and bringing them into the community. One of the biggest ways to squelch your team or keep from ever having one is to be the know-all, be-all, end-all of it. And Debbie Hanks, yep, you were one of them that shared with her. So these things are really important. And then from there, you just keep saying, okay, day 9, let's have a celebration call. We're on there. I am giving you another opportunity. You've lost 9 pounds. You feel great. I always want to know about your experience. I'm always talking about, let's unravel your story. People want to know what that is. And it's not just that you want to, like, you've lost 9 pounds or whatever. It is that I'm eating real food. It tastes good. I feel supported. I've had some good ideas. Like, you want people to understand the entirety of what their experience is, because that's what helps people understand they do bring value and they do have a story. They're in their heads, y'all, they're waiting until they lost the 100 pounds and have made the $1 million to tell anybody. It didn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So you are always engaged. Talk to them as much as possible. Introduce them to people as much as possible. This is absolutely crucial. Okay. So then when it's like, they're like, well, I wouldn't mind having my link. I've had a couple of friends that have asked. Now, this is where you got to go. I got you. Now we are going to move into coach mode. I got you. I do know how to do this. I do lock arms with a team. I do have a process. I do have a system. And I am going to lock arms with you and I'm going to help you be successful, just like I have been so far. You're not going to see anything different. We're just going to work on it in a different way. And I always start everyone at that moment with more introductions. And I'm going to pop up something really quickly. They need to understand one of the best things, God rest her soul, Boss Lee, I paid for a $17 thing. Y'all paid for a lot of training, not done anything with it. The whole thing. The best $17 I ever spent, I feel like it was worth $10,000. And this is literally what I learned. If you cannot give them a process and a checklist and hand them something, then what are you doing? I learned through Shannon Link, who you heard. I just said she double ranked. She's way, 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 way in my success team. But I love and adore her team. They're just so valuable in this whole community. And I learned, she said, I give my people a checklist. She said, and you see her at work right now, talking to us, right? So I learned that. I also learned through just my collaboration with Cora Hoffman over the time. When she got started, she was slammed as a nurse. She said, I couldn't wait for somebody to tell me what to do. When I had a minute, I had to go and try to figure out what my next step was. They are actively engaged. You're watching for people that are actively engaged. How do you notice the customer's actively engaged? They respond to your questions. They ask you questions. On your customer community, they actually share that they loved that recipe. Or when you ask for, you're giving away a prize or whatever, you see them commenting or whatever. You see them watching you on lives. They're showing you that their eyes are on you. They're afraid to come to you and tell you they want more. Watch behaviors, not words. Words are cheap and they are useless. Okay. So watch people's behaviors. If you see somebody active, I don't know if Jacqueline Pittman's on here or not, but I noticed her on our community, our customer community several years ago. And I thought, who is this girl? She's commenting, she's posting, she's sharing, she's engaged. I went and pulled her up in my back office, and I went to her person. I said, this girl, she wants something here. We need to talk to her. Watch behaviors all day long. Okay. So I use this. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Wait. Let me do this right. Oh, she is on. Hey, Jacqueline. True story. That's exactly how you got here, Chicky. Okay. So we've already started them with a bundle. They're already a customer. You see from there that I say connection, 3-way chats. I just talked about that. You see, I say connection, 3-way calls. I just talked about that. You see the little arrow at the bottom and it says continue. That means you never, ever, 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 ever stop 3-way chats and 3-way connections. You go and you go and you go and you go. And then from there, I want to, once they've said, I would like to do this. I say, I've got you. I'm going to help you. But here's where I want to know. I want to know why you're asking me. I know why I'm asking you. I'm asking you because you're smart, you're savvy, you're engaged. You've already lost 10 pounds. You got 2 sisters that are raving about how you're looking, or whatever it is. I know why I'm saying this to you, but why are you telling me yes? And y'all remember Rudy Revac talking about, do you know why they want to do this? Do you know who they could have joined them? Do you know how that they're going to move into some sort of a relationship? Is it a party? Is it a meeting? Is it a call? Whatever it is. And do you know that all they're going to have to do is do what they've seen you do and repeat it, right? I call those Rudy's Core 4. And so I want to know, why do you want to do this? Like, tell me, because if you are not connected to what your weight or your finances are hindering you, then on the day when no one bought your product and your sister-in-law told you crazy, okay, you are going to quit. You are going to quit. So if you don't have a reason, then I am basically just talking to the wind about what Jana Bullard wants, which is a unique account. Working for the sake of a unique account is never going to grow you a business. We need to work for the sake of them paying the credit card off, putting the kid through college, not dodging the bill collectors, being able to pay for product. And if I don't get some money back on this, there's no way I can keep doing this. And I can't imagine my life without these products, right? So you want to be super, super, super connected to that. And then past that, that's where you started working on the quick start. And they got friends, they got people, and all the things that y'all know to move on with. But you've got to stay close to people. The introductions, the time with your voice, like, they've got to have that, because remember, they're guarding their own heart. And this is super, super, super important. And what I can tell you is, when I started 9 years ago, I would comment on posts, y'all. And every time I'd have a success, I would send it to Melissa, and she'd say, Jana, you should share that. And my answer was always no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But then I would be on what was Robin's Zing team at that page, because I didn't have, my own at that point in time. But I would see people answering questions, or I would see people asking. They'd be like, I'm on day 4 and blah, blah, I feel great. Or maybe they'll be saying, I'm on day, I'm just starting and I'm a little bit nervous. And I thought, this really is going pretty well. I'll encourage them. I'm an exhorter by nature. Okay. And so I was doing things like that. Well, then I went from, I do not want to be added to any Facebook pages. I was a Facebook snob, meaning if you wouldn't come to dinner, why would you look at my pictures? That's weird. You're a weirdo. Just a different time and different place, right? And so I didn't even want these groups, because I thought, well, though I won't be able to see my grandkids because I can barely work Facebook anyway. Okay. And so, but I started watching this community. Y'all, if you're not using your community, if you're not like tagging instead of telling them directly, so that they get an opportunity for Debbie and Jacqueline to give them the answer, it's them being loved on. It's massaging that relationship and then bringing yourself into partnership with them. That's what really grows. And I cannot stress, watch behaviors, watch actions. This will also help you not feel like anybody ever felt like somebody said that they wanted to do something, you couldn't get them to do anything? Is it just me? Just by a show of sheer numbers, I have more that don't do anything than you do. But y'all, that's normal. That's where that first part, if you can really help people understand that there is something here, and they have a desire to have it, then y'all can move in partnership and they can be successful. But it all starts with treating customers very well. But I would implore you not to act like an expert. I'm going to implore you not to act like an expert. Use your community, use your tools, and I love everything that we have coming up. So I hope that helps some.
Thank you, Jana. And let me say this. I can remember her story that she shared with me on the cruise years ago, that she just about threw Melissa Corvin out of her office because she did not want anything to do with the business. And if I'm not mistaken, Melissa Corvin had already talked to her about it a handful of times. But here's the thing. Melissa Corvin did not give up on Jana Bullard. Jana Bullard would not be where she's at with this company. She would not be where she's at in her life if Melissa would not have continued following up with her. And I remember her saying, I used to, I lived a good life, but not a great life. Now, thanks to Zingular and thanks to the following up that Melissa did, she lives a great life. And think about all the people out there that you could help live a great life if you just take that time and follow up with them. And like Jana said, see what they need, see what their pain points are, dig deep and figure out, what is it financially or time freedom or family stuff that you can help them with, and believe in them and don't give up on them. So thank you so much for sharing. I am going to bring on Trent and Dana Knott next. They are going to be talking about how to treat Zingular as a business. So guys, if you would, go ahead and unmute yourself and welcome to the Zingular Zoom stage. Okay, I know she was at a St. Patrick's Day parade earlier. Dana, are you still on here?
I can see them, Stacy. They're still on. It looks like they may be trying to unmute themselves here.
Okay, let's give them a second to see if.
Try it again. You should be able to just unmute.
Are we there yet?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There we
There
are.
you go.
Hey, we're the older group and we're technically challenged. So yeah, we are coming to you live in Erin, Tennessee. It's one of the smallest towns in Tennessee, but it is my hometown and we're celebrating Irish Day today. So we got to jump in here and do this. So, here's Dana, and I'm taking the lead on this because Dana's so passionate about the products and I'm passionate about the business. And Dana and I have been entrepreneurs for 35 years. And why do we do it? Because of the freedom, because, we can take days like this off at our regular businesses and come and do what we want to do. And so one of the things that I want to talk about, Jana did such a good job of telling people how to become partners, and that's amazing. So what do we do when we do get these partners on? And so we want to talk about why Zingular as a business. And so one of the things that we go by is Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book by Robert Kiyosaki, and he says that everyone should do direct sales marketing. And why is that? Well, because it's cheap to get into. You learn all the skills in multi-level or direct sales marketing that you need in everyday life. And so we've gone by that a lot. And so, Jim Rohn says on everybody's list should be one of their top goals should be to become a millionaire. Well, why? It's because of the tools and the things you learn to get to be a millionaire, because if you get to be a millionaire like he did and lost everything, you still have the tools to come back. So let's talk about why Zingular, okay? So it is such a good company because we have great proven products. We have great leaders. Let's talk about the leaders for a second. The GLPX, okay, so we had a hiccup in the road. But did they back down from this situation? Absolutely not. They stood up to the plate. They took it like a good company should. They informed us. And you know what? Why wouldn't we want to work for a company like this? And so they give us great resources, and the compensation plan is second to none. So that's just a few of the reasons of Zingular. But I'm going to be pretty transparent on this. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but I'm going to be. Is this easy as a business? Absolutely not. And the reason I say that, it's not easy for a lot of people to step out of their comfort zone. But Dana and I are very busy in our hometown. We own and operate 11 businesses out of one building. So we have 300 employees. So who would have ever stepped out of their comfort zone and asked us to be a part of a direct sales company? So please don't judge just because somebody's busy or do our lifestyle. We thrive on stuff like this. So, let me go back for a second too. I don't know why, and I'm fixing to be very transparent on our business, and why we were picked to speak, I'm not so sure. And it's probably because they say, well, if Trent and Dana can do it, or do it part-time and do it, then everybody can do it. So I know what they're doing, so that's okay. But there's so many successful people out there that are more qualified to talk about this than us. But we have been in business for 30-something years. So, but you know, is when I go back and say it's not easy to do, it's you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable and asking people and telling people. It's easy to go out there and get 3 or 4 friends to get to buy the products, right? But it's we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the business end of it. So Dana and I are not, and I'm just going to be honest, we're not setting the world on fire. We're doing this part-time because we have to. I kind of owe the bank some money, so I have to make sure our first jobs are first. But then at the same time, when I say we do this part-time, we do this part-time every day. So we may not be able to contribute 8 hours a day to Singular, but we try to contribute, and we try to do it what time we're allowed to do it. We do it hard. So, you know, we know what it takes to own and operate a business. So if it takes us, because we're doing it part-time, if it takes us 3 years to get to where we want to be, so be it. We realize that, and we know what we need to do that. So we don't mind it taking us a while to do that. Then let's talk about, I said about the GPLX. Let's talk about what we think it takes to run a successful business, right? And this is just us. So please bear in mind, this is our lifestyle. When we come up with a business like Singular, we had to go down and meet the owners and the people that were involved in Singular before we signed on and threw our name in the hat. So the first thing we did was we prayed about it. And then after we prayed about it and we found out that this is what really God wanted us to do, then we write down our goals. In every business, we write down our goals. And then we surround ourselves with like-minded people. We have some new best friends out there, and you know who you are. And then we have some friends that we've just come in contact with that we love, like Mark and Kim Ann. Now, are they in our downline, upline, sideline? You know, it just doesn't matter. We just have become good friends with them, and we're going to do life together and Singular together as well, just to hold each other accountable. So we love that. We like to say that we want to be a product of the product. That doesn't matter if we're opening a business. We want to be there to run it. We want to be front and center. We want people to know what we're doing. In Singular, we've lost some weight, and we're going to, you know, we'd like to be a product of our product so we can show the excitement of that. Then it takes discipline. You know, the hardest thing about working out in the morning is walking down our steps to the weight room and to the sauna. That is the hardest part. But if we stay disciplined about what we do, and we do Singular part-time every day, we're going to get there. You know, there was a great wise man that told me and everybody else in our company, Rudy, about the 10 penny thing. Okay, Dana and I may not be able to put 10 pennies in our pocket and swap it over every time we talk to somebody, but we can put 3 pennies in our pocket. So it's the same principle, you just have to take it. So we also say that you have to do something like that every day, because once you get, it's so easy to get out of it. And once you miss 1 day or 2 days, then 3 and 5 and 6 days just come so easy. So don't skip it, just do it. And the other major part of this is we read this book, The 5 a.m. Club, and it says get up early in the morning and you do your devotional, you do your education, and you do your physical workout. Well, the education is second to none. And that's why we love being a part of Singular. It's caused us to educate ourselves even more. There's a speaker out there, Jeremy Minor. If you've not listened to him, he is amazing. And we have a salesman in one of our companies, and he gets so loud and passionate that you almost feel like you're being threatened when he's talking to you. Well, Jeremy Miners just says, just listen to him. And he's talking to multi-level marketing people when he's teaching. He is just such a great teacher in our industry. So, you know, I don't know why Dana and I are here and doing what we're doing, to be honest with you, other than God. Because our life, here's Dana, she's with me. But the reason I took on today, because everybody knows that Dana loves to get into the details, and I just want to be short and sweet. And
I've got the timer going.
and so we want to make sure that we, say what we need to say, but we respect everybody's time as well. Because again, I don't know how Dana and I, like I told you before, we're in one of the smallest towns in Tennessee, and that's where I've grown up. So why have we done what we've done? And I'll just say that we have the favor of God. And, Dana and I pray together every morning before we leave the house, because if not, she calls me a ministry because I'm the wicked one in the family. So she has to keep in touch with me. But, our motto, I guess, because I have a small town mentality, my motto has always been, and I've heard this from somebody else, this wasn't original, but I will just watch. And, the thing of it is, people are watching you. And people come up to Dana and I all the time. Well, we've been watching y'all on Facebook, and people are watching and watching and watching. Well, they watch your business as well. So if you would treat this like a business, this is a fantastic opportunity. And that's what we need to portray to our people. Where else can you get in this cheap and make this much money? I don't know. Dana and I are on track to make more in the 1 year that we've been in than most people make for a yearly salary. And we're just doing this part-time. So the opportunity's there. It's what you make of the opportunity. And so that's kind of our take on entrepreneurship and doing the business. Like I said, Jana did such a great job of telling you how to get the partners in, but you have to treat this like a business. So
Hi. You also have to go to events.
yes.
I mean, I don't think that we would be doing this if we hadn't met the community. We were invited to come to XLC in Miami, and I don't think I think that lights a fire in your passion. And so we were able to do that. Then I was able to go to Georgia to a smaller event, a regional. Then all of a sudden it was Louisville. And so you just have to stay involved and stay connected. When you get disconnected, that's when you see your business start slowing down and your fire is not there. So that's, I think that's all about what I had to say.
Yeah, when Dana met Melissa down in Georgia, that everybody we met, we loved. I mean, Cora's our upline, and Lori is, and Joanne, and the people that we are surrounded by are amazing people. And you'll find that in Singular. It just, the cream rises to the top, and we just love that. So it's amazing people. So really, I want to keep my time short, and there I ended early, and there you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry, I was having trouble getting my phone unmuted. You're not the only one who has trouble, okay?
See?
Trent, Dana, thank you so much for sharing. And, every time I listen to you say something about what your steps are, I paused and thought, okay, these are mindset things. These are all things about where's your mind at? Your mind's in prayer, your mind's with God, your mind's with making the decision to go see the company. Your mindset is doing something every day. It may be something, not as much some days as it is for others, especially for you all, because you do live busy lives. But the reason we had you guys to come on is because you live busy lives, and you all have been extremely successful with working this into everything else you have going on. So guys, listen to what they said, because I know how busy they are. If you guys know them, you know how busy they are. And if they can be successful with setting time aside every day to build their Singular business, you all can as well. So thank you all for coming on and sharing it with us. Next, we have Rebecca Alt coming on, and she is going to talk to us about her comeback story and never giving up. She has an amazing story. I can't wait for her to share it with you all. So Rebecca, if you would, please unmute yourself and join us. Miss Executive, or I'm sorry, that
Right.
would be Gold
There we
Executive.
go. There we go. Sorry, it was telling me that the host wasn't allowing me to unmute. So anyway, here I am. Hi guys. Oh my gosh, this has been so good. I don't even know why I'm on the lineup because I've been taking notes. Y'all should see my notebook. It's been so good. So thank you to each and every one. This topic is near and dear to my heart. I like everybody else, you know, we've all had comebacks and setbacks in our lives. I don't think you're human if you haven't, because that's just life. And I'm not even talking about, you know, singular at this point. It's just, you know, it's a roller coaster of life. And I'm so thankful that I serve a God who, you know, is with me through the good times and the bad times. And that's ultimately, goodness, I get emotional even that. So, but let's talk about Zingular. And I feel like, especially right now, you know, with all the GLPX stuff and the excitement that's happening with our company and how relevant we are right now and ahead of the curve. I want you guys to get this in your hearts that the comeback is greater than the setback. And I'm going to talk about a couple of comebacks in my personal business. I've been here 8.5 years. It's crazy. It's flown by. And you know, I'll get to the most recent comeback that involves the last 2 years, really. And I'm going to be open and honest about things. I know a lot of times we don't talk about ranks and we don't talk about, you know, falling back and all of the things, but I think, and if you're brand new, you may not have experienced that, and that's great. But I think early on, I had no idea that it was even possible to fall back. You know, like I just saw all these people on stage and hitting ranks and stuff. And it's like, you know, you think they're always there at that rank, and that's not true. So I want you guys to know that if you're brand new, like that might be bad news, but it also might be comforting to you down the road of like, okay, this is normal. You're actually not normal if you haven't fallen back, if that makes sense. So, the first comeback, I think in my business, you know, I got started and I had wanted nothing to do with the business, wanted, you know, told Sheila no, told Jennifer McKinney no, all the things. And then, okay, I just want to get my products paid for. So that's where I started. And if that's where people start, that's okay. That is a place to start, right? It doesn't mean, you know, they're going to stay there. And I'm thankful that I did not. But that's all I wanted at the beginning. Okay, so then fast forward and I'm kind of picking up steam about 1.5 years in. And I walked across this stage, went to my first event. It'll be, I guess, 7 years ago, this fling. And it's funny because it was actually in Oklahoma City. So we're going back to Oklahoma City 7 years later. And I walked across the stage at OKC as a director. And so I was super pumped about that, you know, getting my bonus and all the things. And I watched Jana Dyer on stage and I wanted what she had because she just walked away from her dental hygienist job. I was not a dental hygienist, but I was a teacher and a basketball coach. And I desperately wanted to be home with my babies. But my husband was a teacher too. How do you do that on one teacher salary? So seeing Jana's story, watching it, you know, unfold kind of, you know, in real time was very impactful for me. So I get home, I get busy. That was the Trim Sticks launch month. And we exploded on to Silver Director. And so I'm like, yes, I'm gonna stop teaching this fall and I'm gonna be home with my 2 little ones. Well, guess what? August came around and we went back to Platinum Manager. And that was not where I needed to be to accomplish the goal of staying home. So back to work I went. I was frustrated. I was upset. I was dadgummit, you know, this isn't the path that I wanted to walk. So I didn't know anything else but to get busy. And just a PS, like I was busy from April to August. Things just didn't go the way I wanted to do, you know, wanted them to go. It wasn't for lack of work. It's just sometimes happens. So back to work I went, had a conversation with my husband, and I said, okay, I need 3 nights a week to do this business. You take bedtime and bath time, which is the worst hour of my kids' existence because they were like 3 and 1 at the time. And I'm going to go work. So that was September 1st. Remember, finished August, platinum manager. Okay. Not a bad place to be, but can't leave my teacher salary on that income. So September, October, November, and we hit platinum director in November. Okay. So from platinum manager to platinum director in a 3-month span, that was my goal. That was where I needed to be to walk away. So I walked away at Christmas. Resigned in November, gave them a month and walked away in Christmas. Okay. Fast forward 2 more months. In February, we hit executive for the very first time in 2018. Okay. So that was a massive comeback from platinum manager all the way to executive in about a 6 months time, 5-6 months. Okay. How did I do it? I got busy and I got focused on what I needed to do. And I did much of what you all heard today about finding partners, about getting people on subscriptions. I was the world's worst at subscription. Literally would sign people up and say, oh, don't worry about that. Like, we'll take care of that later. Well, later never came, right? So if that's what you are doing now with subscription, it's not too late to change, but you got to change. Okay. Because I'm living proof of it. I did it, but you got to change and do exactly what Maddie was talking about. I'm not going to revisit that. So that was a massive, massive comeback. And I'm so thankful. Was it hard? Yes. Was it easy? No. Did it take courage and boldness and frustrating days along the way? Absolutely. But don't quit. And that's what I tell my team all the time. Quit quitting, right? When things get hard, we quit. Maybe we haven't left Zingular, but we stop posting. We stop following up. We stop reaching out. We stop looking, and having conversation and making conversation happen at church or at, the grocery store, whatever. So quitting is a message that I will often tell my team, right? And it kind of doesn't make sense, but it also makes sense, right? Quitting. And Stacy, I had a timer pulled up to set on my phone and I totally forgot to start it. So you can feel free to text me when I have like 3 minutes left. So that's comeback number 1. Here is comeback number 2 in my business. Now, remember, I've been here 8.5 years. And so let's just talk about the last 2 years. Whew, it's been tough. It has been, I don't know. There's no other word for it from my perspective than just tough. It's been a grind. We've faced difficulties with the economy, right? And people's expendable income has not been what it was. We all got used to, a lifestyle, and then things changed. And so we had to adjust. And then in the past year, this company has faced this whole pharmaceutical rush of the shot, and that affected things, I will always believe. So here we go. The last 2 years have just been a grind, financially and work-wise and all the things. And then throw in there that a year ago, actually last month, a year ago, I took our family and I've got 3 kids now and a wonderful husband. And I earned the Return to Sundance trip back in 2020 and finally got to go. So it was amazing. Loved it. Definitely get that one on your radar. It's 150,000 QV, 2 months in a row. And it's one of the only trips that you can take your whole entire family to. So we go to Utah, having a fabulous time. Last day there, we're snowmobiling, and I have a snowmobile accident. And I wrecked the snowmobile with my, at the time, 6-year-old son on the back and hit a tree. Yes, I was wearing a helmet. The tree won. I did not. And So from there, I suffered a massive concussion. Now they called it mild, but I guess at my age, 46 at the time, now I'm 47, any concussion is definitely something you want to avoid. So got home and thought I was okay. You know, I'm tough. I'm a former basketball player, played college basketball. Like I've got a pretty high tolerance of pain. But I was not okay. And so I basically relinquished all of my mother duties, all of my wife duties for a month solid to recover. And that included getting off of this thing because it wrecked my, just my mental capacity, and watching a screen of any kind was just not what I needed to do. So did my business suffer because of that accident? Yes, because when you can't basically touch your phone for a month, yeah, I was in trouble. So that happened kind of right in the middle of, the economy and all the things. But I'm thankful for my team. They didn't quit in the midst of that when I wasn't reaching out. My upline, Sheila Curtis, jumped in and really, rallied the troops, so to speak, for me. And that's the benefit of doing this with a great upline. And if you don't have a great upline, you can find one, right? You can, we're all in this together. But that was rough. So how did this story end? Well, obviously it's still going. And I'm fine, by the way. I'm fine now from the concussion. So thank God all is well. But it definitely was a setback. But I just want to say, don't give up. And I actually want to share this, and Stacy, you can tell me how much time I have, because I really have no idea. I want to share this really fast with you guys. Shoot fire. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see that little image? Yes. Okay. So this is such an impactful image, because here we go. We have a huge bird, and it has captured the frog, but look what the frog is doing. It is completely clamping that bird's neck, so the bird can't swallow the frog. Isn't that crazy? Like, yeah. And obviously this, I don't know if it really happened. It's a drawing, but I just think that's so impactful for our business, because you guys, last month was another setback. Yes, it was huge growth. My team, we tripled our volume in, from January to February. It was incredible. It was fun again. Honestly, for the first time in a while, I can say it was fun. And those of you that have been here a bit, you probably know what I mean. But goodness gracious, we learn things in the hard, don't we? We learn things when things aren't easy. I think we probably end up learning more than we do when things are on the mountaintop, right? But we had another setback, right? We ran out of GLPX. And when that first happened, and they only sold GLPX from then on in the bundles for a few more days until that ran out, our team just absolutely continued to explode. And it's because we just pivoted, right? And so we had this setback, but instead of being like, oh no, we're out. Okay, well, there goes that month. No, we pivoted and was like, no, we're actually not sold out, guys. Hey, we're not sold out. We can get it. You can still get it here. And guess what? People were buying Gut Collectives, X bundles out the wazoo, because we didn't stay stuck, right? We didn't stay stuck in the setback. You have to bounce back and get out of the setback and get ready for your comeback. Making lemons to lemonade is super important. Stacy, I don't have a text from you yet, so I'm guessing I'm okay. And then here's the biggest thing that I think I did to help this latest comeback. I got my family involved. My kids are now 9, 7, and 4. And so they're young, but they're not 3 and 1 anymore, right? So I asked them at the beginning of February, every day, and those of you with young kids or maybe grandkids, you can do this. I told them at the beginning of February, I said, guys, I need you every morning to ask me what my points are. And then we have a big, huge whiteboard because we used to homeschool, and it's right there in our kitchen. And so they would write the number of my points every morning, right? Mom, what are your points? And they'd write it up there. And my 7-year-old was actually learning how to write, bigger numbers, like in the thousands, as we learned. So it was great. But they got super involved, and I put my goal, and then I put my BHAG goal, right? Everybody should have a BHAG goal, big, hairy, audacious goal, in the corner also, but my reachable goal in the middle. And so when we reached that reachable goal, they went crazy, right? And then we got super close to my BHAG goal. We didn't hit it, but you know what? That was a great conversation for my kids of like, hey guys, you don't always reach your goals, but you work really hard for them. And when you do work really hard for them and you don't reach them, it's okay. You still feel good about what you accomplished. I want them to learn that for the rest of their lives too, right? So getting my family involved was huge. And that taught me something too, because it was accountability for, for me. They're gonna ask me, oh my gosh, I need to have that number going up, 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 right? And so I think that's it. I just want you guys to know that, number one, it's normal if you are, if you have experienced a setback, it's normal. It's actually abnormal if you haven't, right? But the comeback is greater than the setback. And if we look through scripture, as our example, which I do, I can see, failure after failure after failure. I mean, name off the characters in the Bible, right? The one that comes to mind the most is David, right? Huge personal failure after huge personal failure after, one right after the other. And yet he still was a man after God's own heart. He still, is revered as one of the greatest. And so that is my encouragement to you. Keep striving, keep working. It's about to blow up, you guys, this month and on and on and on. So hang in there and quit quitting. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Oh my gosh. I love that you get your family involved. That is so cool that you set those goals up and you guys track it through the month as a family. And like you said, if you don't hit them, that's okay because you guys have put the work in and you got close. So that's a good teaching lesson for them. And I think everybody loves the comeback is greater than the setback. I think everybody type that in there when you put it in. So thank you for sharing that with us. Our next speaker is Executive Melissa Adams. She is going to come on and talk to us about the Founders Club. And let me tell you, she has earned Founders Club every year since she's been in with Singular. She is actually one of the very few of us that's earned it already. I think she was either the fourth person to earn it. I'm sure she will correct me if I'm wrong. But Melissa, if you would, please unmute yourself and talk to us about Founders Club.
Hey, everybody. Thanks, Stacy. And thank you to all the speakers. Oh my gosh, I have gotten notes as well. Just pages and pages. It's been so good today. And thank you all for taking your time to come out. And when Rebecca was talking, she used the word pivot. I cannot think of that word without thinking of Ross on Friends. Pivot. That's my favorite, one of the best ever. If you haven't seen that episode, Google Friends and Pivot because it's hilarious. But so Founders Club I'm so glad that they gave me this topic because it's my absolute favorite topic in the whole world. It's my favorite trip of any of the trips that we can earn. And I love it because it's not rank based. I love it because everyone's on a level playing field to earn it. And when you get there that the people who are there are not just talking the talk, but they are actually walking the walk. They are doing the things in order to build their business to get them to this trip. So I love being able to go on this trip and networking on this trip. But it's not just about a trip for two. It is about the networking. But if you focus on Founders Club, there is no way your business is not going to grow. It is the foundation of building your business. So I I want to tell you about my very first Founders Club trip because I'm going to be very vulnerable with you guys because it was at a place kind of like Rebecca was talking about. I was in a place where I was ready to quit. I was ready to give up. I had same thing like Rebecca. I think we started the same time. We hit executive the same month. I mean, our paths have been kind of crazy on the same journey, but I had hit at one point silver director and I had fallen all the way back down for manager. And I was thinking at the time, I did not deserve to be on that trip because I was only hitting a silver manager rank. So I was at the point where I did not think I could rebuild again and I was going to quit, but I had earned this trip and my husband is all about these beach trips. So he had told me we're going on this trip and I just happened to and I'm from Georgia. It does not snow here that often. It did not snow one time this whole year, but that particular time we were in the airport, in the Atlanta airport, and we got snowed in. And we had to stay overnight in the airport, and I got snowed in with Cynthia Evans. And she already, before we even got on a plane, poured belief into me. So I had never met her before. She's larger than life. And she had the money to go to a hotel. She had the money to go do anything she wanted to, but she sat in that airport with me all night and she poured belief into me. I got on that trip and y'all, it's exactly what I said. You get to be beside the people who are walking the walk. So I had all these people who were building these businesses and guess what? Every single one of them had a setback like Rebecca had talked about. Nobody just rocket ships to the top and stays there. Your business is like this. So when I left that Founders Club trip after talking to all of these people and them telling me, look where I'm at now because I didn't give up. Look where I'm at now because I stayed with it and I kept going even when it was hard. That's what got me through. And that's why I'm here today, because I listened to the people and let them pour into me because of that first trip. So the importance of Founders Club, I will never miss this trip because of that, because you learn so much and you get to be around the greats of Zingula, which is so much fun to me. But I want to give you 7 things that you need to do in order to not just earn this trip, but grow your business. And stick with it. So the first thing, and this is the most important, and it's the most important with anything that you are doing, you've got to believe that you can. You have got to have belief and you've got to believe that you can do it. You've got to get out of your own way. You've got to get rid of the self-doubt. You've got to stop telling yourself that you can't. And you've got to stop telling yourself that you're not good enough. You've got to stop comparing yourself to anyone else. You've got to get rid of the negative thoughts in your head. And whatever it is that you tell yourself you can't do, you've got to turn that into a positive affirmation, real-time affirmation. So if you go into if I took you into my bathroom and showed you on my mirror, I take a dry erase board and everything that I feel about myself that is not good enough, or the things that are that I haven't accomplished yet, you will see on my mirror, it says, I am this. So I've got, I am a great leader. I am a great speaker. I will be in Cancun. I weigh 139 pounds. I mean, all the things that I want to happen and I want to be, I write them and speak them as if they already are. So you say those things, you turn it into a positive and say them, speak them out loud every single day, even if you don't believe them. And you say, I am going to Cancun. I will sit on that beach. It's just like Trent said, I will, just watch. I love that so much. That's going to be one of my new sayings now. But you've got to believe, and you don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like anybody else. You've got to be like you, and you've got to believe that you can. And it goes right into this the next point, which is you've got to have the vision to see yourself there. So look what's in your own lane. Look what is right there available for you. And that is a trip for 2 to Cancun, but it comes with the basis of increasing your business. And the thing that I love to do is I love like real visuals. So the best way to visualize yourself somewhere is to learn about that place. So I want everybody to go and look up Secrets Playa Mujeres Resort in Cancun. And I want you to go through every single, there's a ton of pictures, there's a ton of videos. all about this resort. This is an adults only resort, y'all. This is going to be fun. But I want you to go through all of the pictures. I want you to screenshot the picture of your room. I want you to I want you to screenshot the chair on your balcony that you're going to sit on and look at that ocean. I want you to make a picture of, screenshot the pool that you're going to swim in, the bar that you're going to go get your pretty little umbrella drinks, you know, and your little frozen drinks. Make a picture of the cabana that you're going to rent for the day, the massage table that you're going to lay in and get the massage, the restaurant you're going to eat at. Look at the menu, find out what you want to order, and then go ahead and get your passport renewed or get a passport. Go ahead and take that time off work. Go ahead and order that bathing suit or order that sundress. Go ahead and make a decision right now that you're going to do it, believe you can, and start working to do whatever it is that you need to do to earn that trip. But you've got to believe you can, and you've got to see yourself doing it. The next thing, number 3, and I'm going to try to get through these fast, is accountability is huge. Having an accountability partner is one of the best things I've ever done for my business. And I've got several now. First, it started out with me and Stacy Loftus. And Stacy, like, he will kick my butt if I need it. He will tell me when I'm wrong. He will fire me up. He knows when I'm having a bad day, and he makes me happier. Christy Van Dam, same thing. There's no BS with her. She will tell me, look, but she's supposed to be the nice one, but she's really not the nice one. So, but she'll kick my butt too. That's what you need in an accountability partner. And then I've got the Bergs. Every single morning at 8:30 my time, I get on the phone with Jan and Greg Berg, and we talk about what we're going to do. But having that accountability, it's not just about me. I don't want to disappoint them. So okay. And this is the example that I put out. And this is something that some of you may understand because it's about a gym. I really don't. I really don't understand it that much, but imagine you and your friend both decide to start working out to get healthier. You agree to meet at the gym every single morning at 6 o'clock. The alarm blares at 5:30, and if you were not going to meet that friend, chances are you're going to slap that alarm and just say, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. Today, I'm just so tired. But you remember that your friend is waiting for you, and you know that they're there counting on you to show up. So you drag your butt out of bed and you head to the gym. And then once there, finding somebody that's by your side, working out with you and walking on that treadmill with you and lifting those weights or whatever it is that you're going to do with you makes it so much more enjoyable and so much more attainable. So in your singular business, having an accountability partner is the same concept. You know, it's somebody that holds you responsible for taking actions towards your goal. They're not just a cheerleader, but they're someone who checks in on your progress. They offer constructive feedback. They help you navigate obstacles. You can bounce ideas off of each other. But find you somebody, and I would recommend that it's somebody not in your line. I would recommend that it's somebody off on another team. And I love that about Singular so much, is because we are one team, one dream. You can look at any person on this Zoom right here, and I guarantee you, I don't think of any person that would tell you no. I think that you could reach out to any one person and they would listen to you. They would give you advice, and you could find you an accountability partner if you don't already have one. Number 4, track and measure what you're doing, because we all know, we've heard it forever, what's tracked and measured improves. And you track your progress towards earning this Founders Club. And I'm going to show you what I do. And I do this, and I'm just going to turn around. I got it all jacked up. Y'all should see this little setup. Y'all would laugh if y'all could. So hang on, let me see how to turn this around. So this right here, I don't know if you can see it good or not, but this is my tracker. And every year I change it and do a new tracker, and I keep up with every single point. I keep up with every single unique. And then I've got my list of possible uniques. And I keep that list going. Even though I don't need that many, I've already qualified for the trip. But do you think I'm stopping? Nope. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it all. I'm going to get all 14 of my unique accounts. I'm going to get all 5 of my rank advancements. But if I don't know where I'm at already, how in the world am I going to know how far I've still got to go? If I don't keep up with my points each quarter, how do I know if I'm going to get that $100 bonus for my quarterly qualifications? because I'm not going to leave no money on the table, y'all. So you got to track your quarterly points, track your yearly points, track how far you are from getting that lanyard and getting in that Founders Club lounge. Because if y'all have never been there, that's a fun place to be too. They give you free stuff every day. I love free stuff. And they give you free gifts when you come in and free products, and they have lunch for you and, you know, just snacks and all kinds of things. And it's just an awesome reward to have for earning that each quarter. So put that on your list if you haven't got that on there as well. One of the things that Zingular is started this month that I absolutely love is the 3 for 3 promo. That promo, if you guys grab hold of that, and if you use that, you can start today with 0 points and earn that trip by May. And I'm going to share my screen and show you what I broke down so you can see this as well. And let me go right here. So if you take the 3 for 3 promo and you get in March 3 new partners, one of them hits Quick Start 1, one of them hits Quick Start 1 and 2, and one of them hits both of their Quick Starts and Managers. Just doing this promo, March, April, and May, you just earned a trip for 2 to Cancun and a $500 bonus on top of it. So guess what? If you fall short, you've still got June, July, August, September to earn it. So there is a way to start right now. It doesn't matter. What's happened in the past, you cannot change, but you can change what you're doing now going forward. So decide and then figure it out. Track it, write down who your 3 unique partners are going to be for this month, next month, and then May, and then go and do it. It's going to be work, but my Lord, you're going to win. You're going to earn. You do not win these trips. You earn these trips for 2 to Cancun. So tracking your progress helps you stay focused, improves your plan, stay motivated, and you can celebrate your successes along the way on earning that trip. Number 5, and that is being intentional. And I'm going to tell a story, and I'm sure that Stacy is not going to like the story because it'll bring back bad memories for him. But when we were in Cabo, we went on a deep sea fishing trip. That's newsflash. I love to fish. I know that y'all would never believe that about me. I actually went deep sea fishing on my honeymoon, so I really like to fish. So it was me and 4 guys. And we went on this deep sea fishing. It was going to be a whole day that we go fishing, and I want to catch a marlin. That's like on my bucket list. So we go, and we're not 30 minutes out on this trip, and we hook up with this big fish. And being the gentlemen that they are, you know, on this trip with me, they're like, "Go ahead, Melissa, you can bring in the first one." So I'm sitting there, and it's like a 30-minute fight, and I'm fighting this fish, and I'm bringing this fish. It was so much fun. It was like they were all just cheering me on. And I get this fish, and it wasn't a marlin, but it was a, gosh, what was it? Like it was a mahi or some kind of tuna. It was huge fish. It was amazing. But we got it in, and then I was just like, oh, that was great. I can't wait to see y'all catch one now. Y'all, the whole rest of the day, not one other fish bit, not one. And I was like, oh God, I feel guilty. All these guys paid the same amount of money that I did. They didn't catch a fish, but you know, I did. They for like 6 hours, y'all. There were 6 lines out, not another fish bit. But I was just like, God, I'm so sorry. And they were just like, hey, that's fishing. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. So that's what I'm going to ask you about your Zingular business. Are you throwing out a line and just hoping to catch something and just sitting there and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and it may bite and it may not bite, but is that how you're going to get your next big builder? I mean, are you just going to throw it out there and hope, say, oh God, this is what I really want. I really want a big builder. And then you catch a customer. I mean, it's still great, but it's not the big one, you know? And I'm not going to tell you to stop fishing, keep pushing, putting the post out there. But at the end of the day, you've got to go after what you want. You've got to be intentional with the people that you want to find. You've got to be intentional with the business builders that you're looking for. You've got to be intentional to talking to people about making extra money, intentional talking to people about our travel program, intentional with inviting people to go to Fling with you. And I loved, you know, them talking about like Marilyn talking about following up with customers, because I can promise you, if you start hunting in your customer list, you can probably find you a builder. Because your back office is the biggest gold mine that you have got your hands on right now. So be intentional with getting on the phone with people. Be intentional with building those relationships and nurturing those relationships. Be intentional with reaching out to the people on your chicken list or those big fish that you're looking for. Be intentional with the bait that you're using. And you can throw lines out, but you can also be intentional with what you're looking for. So hunt and fish at the same time. You've got to become just as good about talking about the business and putting value in the business as you are about the products. You've got to be just as good at following up with your customers about the business as you are with following up with your prospects about signing up to be a customer. You've got to get it in your head. And oh my gosh, I love. And I don't even remember, I'll have to go back and read my notes to see who said it, but you could be the answer to somebody's prayer. I think it was, oh gosh, I'll have to go back and look, but you could be the answer to someone's prayer because they are praying for what you have. And if you keep your mouth shut, how in the world is the Lord going to use you if you don't open your mouth and tell the good thing that you have? And one of my girls said, you're not trying to bug people, you're trying to bless them. So keep following up. My philosophy is you follow up until they buy or die. As far as products, and you follow up until they ride or die about the business. I mean, I was a hard no, just like Jana was, and they kept following up and kept following up. Thank God they did, because I would have missed out on this huge singular blessing had they not kept following up. And I always think about that when I look at my customers. I'm not trying to bug them, I'm trying to bless them. If they don't want my blessing, that's on them, but they're gonna get it. You got to keep talking to them about it. And because what you have can change someone's life. They just may not can see it. You may just need to keep showing them and keep showing them and keep showing them. But fishing's great. Sometimes the big one's going to bite, but at the end of the day, it's still fishing. And sometimes you get one, sometimes you don't. But if you hunt, chances are much, much greater. Number 6, consistency. And I think everybody that's talked has talked about this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but it is, you've got to do it every day. You can do it full time, you can do it part time, you can do it in your spare time, but it cannot be a sometime business. You have got to work your singular business every single day at some point every single day. And there was a quote that Jan told me about the other day. It says, if you aren't living life intentionally, you are letting life happen to you. So you've got to be, you've got to be consistent, but you've got to be intentional about being consistent. It's got to be a priority. It can't be an afterthought, especially with you trying to earn this Founders Club trip, because it's not an easy thing to do. You've got to be intentional and you've got to be consistent with the things that you're doing in order to not just get the partners, but grow the partners, build the relationships with the partners. You've got to get on the phone. And I loved what Jana talked about with the ATM chats. Those are very, very effective. If you're not doing those, you need to. So, and then the last thing is you've got to have grit. You've got to plow through the excuses. You've got to do it even if you're not seeing results immediately. You've got to have a never give up mentality. You've got to continue getting better every single day. And just like Rebecca said, most breakthroughs happen after the breakdown. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be discouraged. It is not okay to quit. The only way you fail is if you quit. Quit quitting. I love that saying too. Gosh, there's been so many good little nuggets today. Quit quitting. Don't quit. You've got to go find that fire that you had when you first started. And I think a lot of us have found it again because, woo-wee, did we have a great February? And we're going to have a great March. You've got to keep that fire blazing, not just embers and not just like a little campfire. They need to be able to see it from miles. We need to keep that fire blazing. That fire is contagious. The excitement is contagious. People want to be a part of what you're doing. So you've got to find that grit in you to not only inspire you, not only keep you motivated, not only instill that belief in you and let you get out of your own way, but also to bring other people with you. It's up to you. Because when you bring other people and you get other people on the trip with you, that's when it gets even sweeter because you've changed somebody else's life. So look at me. You can do this. You are worthy of sitting on that beach. You are worthy of earning this trip. You are worthy of greatness. You're good enough to do this. You are confident enough to talk to people about this business. You are bold and are going to talk to people that you never dreamed you would talk to before. You're an amazing leader. You will make a difference. You will achieve your dreams, and you can do hard things. I love y'all. Thank you for letting me talk today, Stacey.
Thank you, Melissa. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, we could not have probably picked anyone better to talk about Founders Club than Melissa, because not only did she give you 7 great tips, but did you notice at the end she poured into you all the believability that you all can do this. And if you follow these steps and you stay committed to them, guaranteed you're going to hit Founders Club before the end of the year, because we are just now not even halfway through, right at halfway through the qualification period. So if people have earned it in the first part, there's no reason, even if you don't have a 0.1 right now toward Founders Club, there's no reason why you cannot earn it by the end of the qualification period. And Melissa even laid out the great steps how you can earn it over the next 3 months. Just focus on those things, and you could have it earned by the end of in the next 3 months. So Melissa, thank you so much. Melissa was our last speaker. So I want to take the time and once again, thank all of our great speakers for being on here, giving us some great training, some great nuggets. And also what I want you to do is I'm going to give you guys a 2-part challenge. Okay, so nobody leave yet. You get a challenge at the end. So here is the challenge. 1, we had a lot of great speakers, a lot of great tips. What I want you to do, we had 8 different categories or topics. I want you to write on your paper 1 through 8. And I want you to start with what you feel you need to work on the most and put that at number 1. What you feel you need to work on second, put it number 2, then keep going down. And then instead of looking at all 8 and saying, I'm going to work on all the 8 of these things at one time, I want you to pick just your first 2 or 3 and say, these are the things I'm going to focus on until I feel like I've either mastered them or I feel more comfortable with them or I'm doing more consistently, whatever it might be, before you move on to 4 on down through 8. So pick those top 3 things. That's your first challenge. Your next challenge is this. Those of you that's here on your team that's watching this, get with them and see what their top 3 are and work with them to helping them improve those top 3 things that they feel like they need to improve on. And this is going to be recorded, or that has been recorded. So make sure that you get this recording to your team members, have them to watch this, have them to do the same challenge of what are the things that you heard that you need to focus on the most. What are the top 3 things that you feel that would help you grow your business if I focused on these 3 points? But that's it for today, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for taking out a Saturday, the last 2 hours or 3 hours that we've been on here. Thank you guys for doing that. These are the things that we need to be connected with that's going to continue to help us grow our business and move Singular forward. You guys have a great day. And as always, God bless.